think of, instead of looking so far away. Who are those people in our, close or less close circle? Or how could I say semi-close circle, like you, for example. I've been following your work since some time now, and it's an amazing. It's amazing, like the positive energy that you bring out is amazing. And I wanted to know exactly. You're a poet, also. You're a mystic. You're a coach. You're a spiritual advisor. I think you also paint. So
I did for a while. I kind of stopped.
okay, perfect, 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 perfect. So exactly. So please tell us about this is it's called pure expression. So it's basically spontaneous. There are no strains. So
Okay.
it's free flow, and it's about ranging from 15 to 25 minutes. If it goes
Perfect.
further, perfect. If it's but that's the kind of the timeline. So feel free to present yourself, your path, your life message, your ministry, your mission, because I know you're also a minister
Mhm.
with Bava Mission. So
Mhm.
please present us all this.
Okay. Are we gonna record it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
Is it recording now? I don't see that it's recording.
Yeah, it's actually recording. I think it's recording.
I don't think so, because Zoom.
Recording in
There we go.
progress.
Okay, perfect,
Oh, it's recording.
perfect, perfect.
Right. Well, thank you, Mario. You are so kind. And now that I'm on the screen with you and I see you, my heart is just it just opens up. So it feels really good. It feels like a really beautiful connection to
Thank
have
you.
this with you. And I know we've been following each other on Facebook for a while. And like I said earlier, you have you have pretty profile pictures, but they're not your face. So getting
Exactly.
to see your face is really
Exactly.
special.
I'm a very discreet person.
You are. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
not.
Exactly. So I mean, fundamentally I'm not, but these last years, for every kind of, I can say, spiritually inclined person, has felt some kind of shift.
Oh,
So
yes.
yeah, so basically, spirit just led me to kind of be very conservative of my pictures and my appearances, basically. So
Yeah.
I kind of just adjusted myself, basically. But
Yeah, I completely understand the urge to step back and hide a little bit.
yes,
I feel like, especially over this last year and a half, I have been like pushed out into the world, and so I just go, okay, yeah, it is what it is. This is what we're doing. So,
that's that's true, and that's
yeah,
amazing. It's amazing to behold your bravery, your
thank you.
vulnerability, your strength, your resilience. I mean, wow,
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful to behold, and it's
Thank
very
you, thank
empowering.
you. I so appreciate that. And I'm going to say this because I tell this to everybody because this is really important for people to understand about me right at the outset.
Yeah,
What people are seeing in me is a reflection of themselves in the
that's
purest sense. Have
that's
you
true.
ever heard of the human design system? Are you familiar with that?
Possibly, is it like neuroscience?
No, it's different. It's a mixture of astrology, the I Ching, the chakra system. So it's this really neat system where, based on like the time and place of your birth, similar to astrology, you get this chart generated for you, and so
Okay,
you can see how you're energetically designed. I use it quite a lot in my work with people in one-on-one and groups to help them come into their power. But
okay,
anyway, the point is, my human design chart, my profile is a five. And the five profile means that my aura is like reflective. It's called the projection field. So
okay.
literally, what people see in me is what is in them. So it's really juicy to get these nice compliments from you because I know that what you're seeing is reflected back. It's you. You are courageous and brave and vulnerable and open-hearted. And because I'm intuitive, I feel that in you really strongly. The minute your face popped on my screen, I was like, okay, it's a good people day.
Oh, thank
So
you very
that's
much.
what I say to living.
ex,
So, and your gift. So
ex
it's a really cool place to live, as
yeah.
long as I don't make the mistake of thinking that, kind of getting a big head and just being like, ooh, yeah, because I receive a lot of those compliments, which are very nice to receive. It's very important for me to remember. And I am the mirror. So you're doing great, Ingrid, because you're opening to be that mirror of life instead of a mirror of, I'm not really reflecting back the icky parts so often, and we all have
No, but
it.
that's, I think, as Seneca so beautiful says it, sometimes it takes courage just to live, So, if
Yes,
you're just
especially
alive,
nowadays.
exactly, especially nowadays. So, if
Yeah,
you're alive and you're actually trying to do something,
yes,
and again, it's by degrees. If you're actually trying to do something that will help many others do things for themselves that will help their lives, I think that's amazing. I mean, there
yeah.
is no greater success than just
I would have
knowing.
to agree. I feel very successful have living my life very much on my terms, being heart led, just being led by the heart. I'm a psychic medium. I'm a minister with the Baba Spiritual Mission. I
Okay.
run the school at the Baba Spiritual Mission, and that school is helping people get in touch with their own spiritual gifts and then helping them take that out into the world. And I'm also the architect of the Somatic Renewal healing method.
Yes.
So that's about peeling away the BS, all of what I call conditioned unlovability,
Yeah.
and helping people live a more real and authentic life. And so those are the main things, the forms that I take. But as we talked about earlier, I'm also an author and I'm a poet. So I have a couple of books out there that I published, and I'm really proud of that because I've been writing poetry since I was 7 years old, and it was a bucket list item to get a book published.
Wow.
So
I mean, okay,
yeah.
so it explains a lot because even I saw last time a poem that you sketch on a napkin or something with
Oh yeah, yeah.
Jesus, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's subversive, but at the same time it's mind expanding, so
That's the best. I
y-
love that. That's
exactly, and I
great.
was like, wow, it's straight to the point. It's almost haiku like, and
Yeah.
it just it blows in your face. And if you're really willing to receive the blessing, there is a great blessing. So I mean,
Yeah.
how
That's
do you
great.
manage all these skills, all these
Well,
multiple
I
talents?
it actually can be confusing. Where I'm not gonna lie, I have days where I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to focus on. I
Yeah,
want all the things.
yeah.
But the napkin poetry, but I have this thing that I do where this is I've never really actually I've never shared this with anybody. So one of the things I love to do is travel. When I get out and travel, it's so expanding for me. I love to get in my car and just go. But what I'll
Magnificent.
do is when I'm on a long road trip, if I'm by myself or with another person, I will stop and like eat or get a cup of coffee, and I will do these little poems on napkins, and I will leave them there. And I might snap a picture and put them on Facebook. But what I do is I look around and I call out
Okay.
what I'm seeing, and so they tend to be my more shocking pieces where it's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? And
Exactly.
that's this little creative habit that I have when I'm out on my journeys around, out in the country, out or traveling the country. Is I'll leave these little napkin poems, and then I don't know who finds them. I don't know if they notice, they crumple and throw it away, or my hope is somebody reads that and goes,
Wow.
what the heck?
Wow. Well, I mean, imagine that in 100 years, like I'll do like like a parallel with Emily Dickinson, because I don't know, you make me think of her a lot. And these, like, the collectors of all these napkins,
Ah.
they'll
You think they'll put it together, they'll laugh so long, and they'll be like, wait a minute, this is the same person.
it's the same person,
Who is that?
exactly. Exactly, that's
I think I made a
amazing.
hashtag for it too. I think it's roadside poetry or something. I don't know. I was being cute.
Yeah, but that's an amazing concept. That's an amazing concept. I mean, just like writing on napkin and leaving it and still
Yeah.
keeping some, like, a memory of it, because that's the most
Yeah. Thank
important.
you, Instagram, right?
Exactly,
It's very
exactly.
Instagrammable, I think.
yeah, into the whole matrix of things, or like the whole internet of things. And so it's there, like there is like the memory of there being physically there somewhere in the on the the cyberspace basically.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah. Well, who knows? It would be really fun to see something like some one of those come back around into my life at some point. I think I need to do more traveling and write more, leaving more napkins. I can
Oh
be more of a
yeah,
trail.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's a very good exercise. But for example, so how what is your writing routine? How do you because apparently you are a natural born writer, so I mean it probably comes very easy for you. But what are your like your routines or your rituals to kind of channel that big
That's that's
spirit
a
energy
really
that you
great
have?
question. That's a really great question, and I'll tell you, um, I have not found a routine that works for me. So I am.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I do feel like I'm a really good writer,
Yeah.
and I really enjoy bringing spirit through and bringing through those channel messages that you see all over Facebook and bringing them into the written word. I also really enjoy looking around, and what feels really important to me is it's not my job to tell anybody what to think or what to do, and I think that's especially important in our current climate,
Exactly.
with so much controversy and division and information and false information and just infighting with everybody. You know,
Divisive
it's
news.
it's easy. It would be easy. It would be the easy way out for me to step up and be like, well, this is what I think, and this is
Exactly.
what you should
Exactly.
think. And because I have a platform, I think people would potentially be swayed by what I think. But
Yeah.
when I've been in sort of like up in arms about that and ready to come out, Spirit has said, no, not your place. And I'm like, but I have opinions. Spirit says, not your place. And I'm here to empower people to get out of fear
Yeah.
and into love and into their bodies and find the truth within themselves. And that's the job. And so my job, I move myself from fear to love every day, which sometimes I spend a while there because it's part of the experience
All
right
of
now.
us. All
But
of
when I
us.
move to love, what happens to me is I receive it in I receive a lot of visuals. Sometimes I'll receive some lines, but mostly I'll receive visuals and feelings.
Okay.
And then I will have to get it out of me. It's like spirit comes through me and it has to be a flow. So I have to get it out of me and I have to put it out into the world right away. So that's everything you see on my Facebook, on my personal Facebook page. It's not scheduled or written ahead of time or carefully curated. It's
Okay.
coming through fast and furious. I write it down usually directly into the Facebook app, and then I clean it up a little bit if I need to, and then I send it out. And then from there, I'll schedule to my other pages. But that's sort of like the germination and everything with my first
Wow,
Facebook
that's
page, which is where you hang out.
amazing.
So everything is just really spontaneous spur of the moment. And I found that if I try and wait to share or over edit or force myself to write, it doesn't have the same impact. You can
That's true.
tell. It's like
Yeah, because
it doesn't
it's
land.
lively. It's
It's
burning.
very in the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's new.
And so that yeah, and so but when spirit comes in, the same thing usually with my poetry. But it's interesting because I would love to find, and I'm actually consciously working on that right now. I love to find a system, a rhythm, a way for me to access this and write something more long form. But the truth is, I haven't gotten a long form book out yet like that, like a
Exactly.
Soulmatic Renewal book or a teaching book yet. It's not because it's not there. I mean, you can see how much content, how much I've generated, and how much is going to flow through me.
And
But I have this block. I have this thing where I sit down and I go, I cannot face this. I just don't
yeah,
want to
but
do it.
actually, that's very interesting, Ingrid, because I was going to tell you, I was, wow, well, I mean, we're right there tuned. I was going to ask you, when is your next book coming out? Like a more lengthy one,
Yes,
because
and I'm working on it. And I've got
yeah,
two in the works right now, and I've got a couple of different systems I'm working on. One is about like a longer form spiritual teaching. So one of the things that I've done, I'm sort of stepping into this. I have acknowledged that spirit comes through me, and I am a teacher of divine spirit because I'm a channel, but it comes through me in my way. Like I use the F bomb not infrequently in my
yeah,
posts, and it comes through my personality. So, and there are people who resonate with the way that started to, this is
Emergent.
immersion,
Yeah.
Immersion, like
O-
immersing yourself
okay,
into things.
immersion. Okay,
Immersion,
immersion.
yeah.
Perfect.
And it's a baby community, but that's sort of like, I think kind of my the way that I'm going to help to organize this and get that book out. But I am working on that book of longer form spiritual teachings, like feeling into why we're here, the human experience, even like what's the creation story as
Yeah.
it comes through me, all of that. And I'm really excited, and I sit there and it's intense and there's something about it that feels a little bit sticky. So I don't know when it's coming out, but I do know that I'm working on it. Like, I'm
Wow.
actively working on that right now. And then I have another book that I'm working on. I'm using a different. I've got a notebook and I'm handwriting like topics and bullet points, and that's about the Soulmatic Renewal healing method, which is a system that was downloaded to me from divine spirit to help us clear out the BS and step
Wow.
into our authenticity. And I've got a huge amount of data on that. And so I've got a lot of courses. I've been working one on one. I've got a lot of info out there. And it's interesting because the way that I'm wired is I love to just spontaneously to
Yeah.
have it blurt it out into the world. When I start to try and organize it, it's like this. I start feeling really tight, like
Yeah,
squishy, maybe a little locked.
exactly.
Yeah, so I think I imagine a lot of people, like creative people or channels, would struggle with this. It's like spirit just wants to come through when it wants to come through, how it wants to come through. I think
Exactly.
what I need is somebody to follow me around and
Okay.
grab my little things as they come out and
Yeah.
put
Y-
organize it for me. I think that would
Wow.
probably work
But
best for me.
I exactly I had that insight a bit earlier that
Mm-hmm.
if you, for example, you just take everything that you posted these last 2 years on Facebook
Yeah,
and you just
there's a
edit
book
them,
there.
yeah, you have just a book there with plenty of different topics like
Yeah,
spoken word, poetry, philosophical insights,
yeah, yeah,
exhortations, and so I
yeah.
mean
It's true.
it's already
It's all
there.
right there. It's
It's
there. It's
it's
just a
already
question of
there.
putting it
You
from
just
there
have to
into the package.
crystallize them.
Yeah, that's a good word for it. Just have to crystallize it. That is a
Y-
good word for it. And then, that is absolutely the thing to do. Is just go through Facebook for the last couple of years, spend the time,
Yeah.
copy paste,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
get it edited and packaged, and boom, you've got a book.
Exactly. Because you already did the work that
Yeah,
didn't feel as a work. So
correct.
like the work that you have to do is just now be patient and re-download it on a new canvas,
Yes.
and you have another form of
Yeah.
so
Yep,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
absolutely right.
That's but tell us about your how do you call it, soulmatic renewal.
Yeah, somatic renewal
Exactly.
is um, it's the process of taking us. It really is the process of allowing you to have your full human experience. And
Okay.
when you let yourself have your full human experience, you become authentic. You become. It's easy to love yourself. It's a process of coming back to loving yourself.
Yeah.
So we are human beings are never really taught how to feel their big feelings, right? So
That's
when
true.
we're children and we have a really big emotional reaction to something, then everybody around us, we're typically, we learn from some way, somehow, like we don't know how to do that, how to process that, so we stuff it, or we
Yeah.
run from it, or we, whatever, we just, I just can't deal with that. I don't know how to deal with that. And a
Ex-
lot of times, whether they mean to or not, the adults around us are encouraging that. Like as I'm sure as a man, you've grown up with that boys don't cry, don't show
exactly.
emotions,
Yeah.
and women have their own version of that, of course. It's a
Yeah.
universal experience. It's
Yeah.
just different, packaged differently.
Yeah.
But what happens is those emotional experiences, they never go away. You cannot avoid them.
Yeah.
Because we're here for the whole spectrum of the human experience, we must have every experience that is gifted to us in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we will have it at the end of our life, all compressed.
Yeah.
And that
That's
can
true.
be really uncomfortable. So
Exactly.
we must have it. And if we're running away or suppressing, then what we're doing is we're not living our life to the fullest. We don't know ourselves.
That's true.
We lose sight of ourselves. But what happens with these emotional experiences is they don't go away. They get stuck in the body.
Yeah.
So our unexpressed, unlived experiences are stuck in the body. And then what happens Like,
Yeah.
why do you care? We're seeing a lot of that right now
That's true.
because
That's true.
we've entered a new paradigm. And this new energy, this new earth, this is a new time of community and unity and love. And in order for people to bridge this gap between the old of struggle
Yeah.
and the new of unity, they have to come home to themselves. We have to show up real and authentic and in love. That's why it's always up living from fear to love. But anyway, when you get triggered,
Yeah.
it's the universe, spirit, God, whatever, trying to get you to feel that feeling that
Yeah.
is stuck in your body. And it doesn't matter where it came from. It could be from when you were 2 years old, it could be from when you're 30, It's just some point in your life you did not allow yourself to have an emotional experience.
That's true.
And
That's
so that builds up, that layers, 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 and it's all stuck in the body. So you get triggered. And then what we do is our fear or ego brain, as soon as we get triggered, it becomes aware that there's a feeling, an unexpressed feeling,
yeah.
but we've avoided it for so long, the ego has this story that it's like, you can't feel that, it's going to kill you. You're going to die. That's dangerous to feel that feeling. And so we spin off into this story.
Yeah.
And the story is the mental hyper-focus on what happened, why did it happen, it's your fault, justification, blame, projection,
Yeah.
or even spinning on the past, obsessing about somebody or something or a situation. That spinny mental place where you're just like, that's when I call you're in a story. Now, the thing about the story is really seductive because there's at least partial truth to the story.
That's
A lot of it's nonsense, but it's at least partially true.
That's
but what
true.
I say is it doesn't matter. That's the ego just trying to take you out of your experience.
Yeah.
So what we do in the Soulmatic Renewal work is we go, okay, how do we get from triggery story back into this emotional experience so that we can have it completely and it can move out of our experience and we can move on with our life, because we're going to stay stuck in that emotion or avoiding that emotion until we let ourselves have that emotion. We can't move forward. We can't continue our life's journey while we have these stuck experiences in our bodies. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So the Soulmatic Renewal work is we go, okay, there's the story.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, there's the story. And then what we do is we take the story and I say, put it on the shelf.
Yeah.
So we put it aside. We just go, right now I'm going to put it aside. And then I say to people, especially if it's a really seductive story, they don't want to let go of it, I'd be like, we can take it down later, just for right now.
That's true.
Okay. So most people are not able to go from their trigger, the story, directly into the emotion. It feels too scary. The ego won't let you. It's like,
That's
don't do
true.
it. It's going to kill you. So we use the body. And I say, where do you feel this in your body? And as soon as they know where they feel in the body, maybe the heart, the throat, or the stomach, that is physically where the emotion, the unexpressed emotion, that unlived experience is hanging out in your body. And so we go there and go, okay, what does it physically feel like in your body? And we just get physical with it. We don't worry about the story and we don't worry about the emotion right now. And so as people sink into the physical experience, they can sink down into the emotional experience. And then what happens is they sink down through layers of experience that they haven't let themselves feel. And here's the beautiful thing. When you can allow yourself to have an emotional experience, just be in that sadness, be in that anger, let yourself have it. It only takes a few minutes to cycle through it and have the experience when you don't have the story spinning you out.
Yeah.
And so people sink through it, and sometimes like happy feelings will come up, and when they get to this place like, oh, I feel relieved. Okay, great, keep feeling it. Because where you want to get to is you want to get to this place where it feels like you pop through.
Yeah.
And you go, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. It's this empty feeling. And it's the weirdest thing. The first time it happens to you, you're looking, there should be something.
Yeah.
What's going on? And then what we do is we do a little test. We go, okay, let's take the story off the shelf. Let's play with the story. Where's the charge? If there's still a charge to it, cool. We'll just do a little more work. We'll do a little more feeling. But when people take the story off the shelf and they go, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Then they've cleared not only the trigger associated with that story,
Yeah.
but they've cleared all of those, they've allowed
Layers.
themselves to have all those experiences. And so you're healing so much more than just that trigger. The triggers in our life, that's just the fodder that we need to do this work.
Exactly.
Well, my favorite example about the power of this work and the way that it heals us and helps us thrive in ways that we don't know that it's happening in the moment is I've had a morbid fear of heights my whole life. Like, I can't get 3 feet to an edge before I start getting wobbly, and I think I'm going to hurl myself off the edge. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's just debilitating. Other
Wow.
things like I was going for a walk, and I've been a person who has been in my younger years. I was pretty hyper focused on what people thought about me and how I was presenting to people. Um, and then I'm walking, and I stop dead in my tracks. I'm like, I don't care what people think about me anymore. Where did that go? So these are the kind of things that just peels away, peels away. Because the other thing we're addressing is, on top of our unlived experiences, we're bringing in this conditioned unlovability. So that's
Okay.
all the nonsense that we take on about ourselves from our environment, or from what we perceive our environment is communicating to us. I'm not worthy. I don't love myself. I'm not sexy. I'm like, it's all these, they're like, well, this is the only thing that matters about me, or I have to be this, or I have to be this way. And that is just stuff that gets piled on top of all that. So one of the tools that we're careful to use with our somatic renewal, as well as we check in and go, how much of this anger is mine? And you give it a percentage. And any percent that is not yours, you can let it go. And then you can go in and have your own damn experience without having to experience the BS piled on top of it. So you can see it's multi-pronged. The
Yeah.
work is multi-pronged, but it's a very simple technique. And my gift when I take people through it is I can track people's energy. I know exactly where they are. I can tell when they're in their head. I can tell where they are in their body. I can feel them moving energetically down their body and through their emotional experience. So
Wow.
I can call them out when they're not really doing the work. I mean, like,
That's
lovingly, just
amazing.
sifting it out. No, 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 honey, you're in your head. Just take a deep breath. Let's put that on the shelf. And they're like, oh yeah, I am. Okay.
Wow. But when did you know that you had that calling of correcting, or adjusting energy? When
Well,
did it happen?
when I was about 7 or 8 years ago, I had a spiritual awakening
Okay.
that blasted me open. I mean, it was a blasting open. I was doing my thing. I was in the professional world. I started my first business, which was a marketing agency, because
Okay.
I had been in marketing and tech. And so I thought, I'll just start my own agency, because I've always been a little gutsy that way, thinking I could probably do more than I really could.
Yeah, yeah,
Great
I know
idea.
the feeling.
Fell on its face, right? Absolutely fell on every which way I turned. It was like I would land clients, and then they wouldn't pay me, or they would get mad. Oh my God, it was like one disaster after another.
Wow.
And so I started going to this, and this was about a year after I got sober too. I had a bit of a run-in with alcohol, which is not uncommon for spiritual folks. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of us have had addiction in our past, and
yeah.
so I gotten out of that addiction, and then I gotten into recovery, and I started going to these shamanic circles. And at the last one that I went to, it just like somebody was doing energy healing on me, and it just cracked me open, and spirit came into my body, and the spirit of my father, who died when I was a child, came into my body. And Mario, it was like this white light came into my body from through the top of my head into my body and my heart, and it just bam widened and just cracked me open. And
Wow.
everything fell apart at that point. That was in end of 2013, early 2014, I think. And
Wow.
everything fell apart. My business folded. I had to move. I was a single mom, and I had to move with my kid back to Northern California. Move back in with my mom, which my mom, God love her. She lives in this one-bedroom house, and she crammed me and my son in there. And then I'm a 30-year-old woman, and my ego's going, oh, this hurts. So it
Yeah,
was like a
yeah,
lot. And
yeah.
then but I got to the point where I was laying in bed one morning shortly after that, and Mario, I was not functional.
Mm.
I wasn't able to work. I mean, I was so far out there. I was really ungrounded. I'm really fortunate to have had people in my life who didn't decide that I needed like to be medicated,
Yeah,
because I had people around who were like, okay, she's got a spiritual jam going on.
yeah,
Okay, and some of them were a little concerned about me, but I pulled through it, and it took me a couple of years to really get grounded, though. And so when I work with people and we're working in the spiritual awakening capacity, moving energy, I am a fanatic about grounding. I
yeah,
ground at every session,
yeah,
because
yeah,
my experience, it was hard. It was hard to crack open like that and not have any grounding or integration.
yeah.
So I'm very practical about that. I'm like, again, we do not need to put anybody else through this. We can have all the benefits of our spiritual awakening without that madness in me. But
That,
anyway, I was laying in bed one morning, and I woken up and I went, I cannot live separately. I can't have my livelihood and my work life be separate from spirit anymore.
mm,
This has to come together, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I have to bring it together.
yeah,
So I started out Obama
Wow.
Spiritual Mission was born. And I just went, okay, that's what we're doing. And now we're finding, we're 4 years in, and we have several ministers, and we have a leadership team, and we're just slowly growing over time.
Okay.
I look at it and go like, this should be huge, but that's not the way it goes in my life. It's like there's slow, consistent growth with everything that I do.
Yeah, slow and
So
steady,
slow and
but
steady, yeah.
amazing results always.
Amazing. And we're finding now that as a church, there are ways that we can protect people even further in their lives when they need it. So it's like we're just learning a lot more about it as a community, and as the board is seeing something like, oh yeah, we can do this and that. And so we're in the process of revamping our school because we've gone
Okay.
through 3 or 4 years of just really organically kind of like showing up and teaching and letting it come through me. And I have some other teachers who are working as well. And now all of a sudden there's this cohesion, and it's like, whoa, this is what we're going to do. So we're in the process of revamping the school, which is really exciting because it's going to pack so much more of a punch, I think. And we ordain people as ministers through the Baba Spiritual Mission. They go through a rigorous training program on their intuition development, learning about ethics, ego, and integrity, and then, doing the healing work, doing the somatic renewal work, doing other like types of healing that the other teachers bring to the table, clearing away the gunk so that they can find their spiritual superpower, and then we
Wow.
have the ability to support them in bringing that out into the world in a capacity that works for them. Maybe they want to start a business, maybe they just want to be kind of an ambassador, a wandering mystic, whatever it is they want to do. The Baba mission is to support that. So
Wow.
I started doing that, and I put a whole bunch of attention, all of my attention on that for the first 2 years to build that and get that going.
Yeah.
And then I got the message, okay, I need to separate out a little bit. So there's Ingrid, and then there's Baba.
Yeah.
So we have the mission, which I work for, and then my stuff is the Ingrid Turner stuff, and that's a lot of Soulmatic Renewals. I still do readings, and I teach classes. I have a new course that I'm just launching now. It's just ever growing and expanding. What I do today is really different than
Yeah.
what I did, 5, 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And so that's my journey.
But I find it amazing, and with the how could I say the natural elegance with which you hold your truth, your energy. It's amazing. You gave some dates, like 7 years, 8 years ago, but I I'm really convinced that in spiritual matters, like time doesn't really exist.
No, time's an illusion, not
E-
a thing. Not a thing.
exactly. So,
It's all about divine time. Yes,
ex- ex-
absolutely. Yeah.
exactly. So, I think the master that was already there but was dormant or
Right.
sleeping just awakened, and awaken. Yeah.
She was slow to come to.
Yeah, but that's
You know how
the
I do
process.
mornings.
That's the
I do
process.
when I wake up in the morning. I actually get up early
Yeah.
so that I can ease into my day. Because I
Yeah.
don't. I'm not one of those people who just bounces out of bed with a bunch of energy. I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I
And
get.
my candles.
Yeah, I understand the
And
feeling.
that's how it was. But you know what, Mario? I want to share this with you because
Yeah.
this is something that I want to get out to as far and wide as possible.
Okay.
I've always been a real ambitious person ever since I was young. Like, I want big things with this life, and so it's been very outward focused. Even in my spiritual work, there's a long time where it's very outward focused. What can I build out here?
Yeah.
And when I downloaded this Somatic Renewal healing method, this was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And I did it, and I cleared something so massive at the time. I was like, that really works. Oh my gosh, more of that. And I've been just consistently doing that work as like a maintenance routine over the years. Whatever comes up, I do Somatic Renewal around it. And I
Wow.
was driving to Los Angeles a few months ago. And you know how when you're driving in the car, I don't know if you drive a lot, but
Yeah.
when I drive, it's just kind of in this nice little zone state, and you're just feeling it. And I had this eruption from my heart, and it brought me to tears because I realized in that moment that I love myself, and that because I love myself, I had achieved the pinnacle of my life's purpose.
Wow.
Everything I do from here on out
Yeah.
is because I want to, is because it's fun, not because I have anything to prove, anything I need to build out there. No big life to live doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The pinnacle of life's
Yeah.
live my full experience. And as my authenticity has erupted from its dormancy,
Yeah.
I have had no choice but to just fall madly in love with myself. And I want that for every single human on the planet. Every human on the planet.
Wow, that's an amazing message. That's an
Doesn't mean life doesn't have its challenges, and I don't get sad, upset, but this is all weather.
Yeah,
The
that's true.
core is love. The core is love.
Exact. That's an amazing message. Basically, loving yourself is the purpose of your journey. We
Yeah.
could exactly. That's
Just
a
to love yourself.
yeah. That's a beautiful message. That's a beautiful message. I wanted to ask about the Bava mission. How, if one is interested, how does it work? How do you become ordained or a minister?
Yeah, so what you want to do is go to the website,
Okay.
bavamission.org, and Bava is spelled Bhava. So bavamission.org. Now, we are in the middle of a revamp, so
Okay.
this may be listened to down in the future, but you want to go to the website and see where we're at.
Okay.
Right now, we are putting together a number of new programs, but there's going to be options to show up and be a member, just like a straight membership of the Bava Spiritual Mission, which means that you get to, join some special classes, special groups, if you can, pledge your membership, and that'll be donation based, of course. And then the school, we're getting revamped. If you want to be an ordained minister through the Bava Spiritual Mission, we are truly non-denominational. All walks of life are welcome. We have pagans, we have New Agers, we have Christians, we have Jewish people. We have everybody coming in because it is a container of unconditional love, and that is really important for us to maintain. So you go through an interview process, and then if you're accepted, you can go through the school. It's an 18-month program, and you go through and you learn, you do your curriculum, you attend your classes, you have one-on-one mentorship, and then you are ordained as a minister through the Bava Spiritual Mission after that, and that's good for a year. And then we ask you, of course, you can renew it, at each year. And if you renew it just by staying connected, doing volunteer work, keeping us just kind of in the know, we believe that all the spiritual teachers are needed. And we do not believe that, if you're ordained to the Bava Spiritual Mission, we're not asking you to teach the Bava religion. We're asking you to show up and be authentic and teach spirit as it comes through you. And, there are people in our community who disagree about things and have different walks of faith, and we're all good with that because the common thread is this thread of faith. The packaging is different. It's whatever resonates with you. Roll with it, have fun with it. But that faith, that thread, that's what's important. So that's the process for becoming a minister, an ordained minister through the Bible Spiritual Mission.
Amazing. So I also was thinking, are they online courses or is
Yes,
it
yes, they are. Everything is over Zoom video,
okay?
or online audio courses, audio classes, that kind of thing. Yeah, so you can be anywhere in the world and join us.
Perfect, perfect. For 18 months, you said. Okay, so that's a year and a half, basically.
Year and a half. Yeah, year and a half. And it's intensive, you really are in it. A lot of classes are offered. The way that we're setting it up now is you're going to have, blocks of 4 months, so semesters, and you'll have one teacher taking you through this curriculum for 4 months, and you'll meet once a week, and then you'll have the supporting materials as well, on the online function. And then the next semester will be another teacher taking you through the next part of the curriculum. You have 4 teachers, 4 months each. And then we also have community classes. So we have classes run by our other students, by our other leaders, which are, you can think of them as like elective classes.
Okay.
They're not required for your ordination, but one of our ministers is a practicing Christian, and so she takes people through the Bible,
Yeah.
and it's an intuitive Bible study, which is really, really cool for a lot of reasons. First of all, some people are coming in and they don't really know anything about the Bible, but they have a spiritual bent.
Yeah.
Other people have maybe a Christian background, and they're going to be able to, they're taking through the Bible looking at it from an intuitive place instead of maybe an indoctrinative place or a
Yeah.
dogmatic place. They're coming through it and looking at it that way. Yeah, I teach a human design study group. I mentioned that earlier. I'm passionate
Exactly.
about human design and helping people learn about that. And then we have a woman who's teaching a crystal study group. So she's passionate about her crystals, and she, takes you through each one each week, each month, and you meditate with that. And so there's a massive amount of information. What I always say to my students, I was like, go out into the world, learn new things, and bring it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back to Bava and
Yeah,
teach us
that's
about it, because this is about we're really Baba's spiritual mission open. One of our sayings is we have the dogma of no dogma. And like I said in the beginning, it is not my job to tell people what to believe or what to think. It is my job to help you get into your body, into partnership with Divine Spirit, so you can find your truth.
Wow, amazing, amazing. And I wanted to know, so are there any ways to donate or make
Yeah.
donations to the Bava? Okay, the Bava.
Yeah, we have a weekly Sunday broadcast that goes live on our Facebook and YouTube pages,
Okay,
and we have a donation link there as well. You can go onto the website as well. Trying to say, I think I just realized I don't think we have the donation button on the website, which I will fix today.
oh,
We should put the
perfect,
donation button on the website. Yeah, you
perfect.
can absolutely donate to the mission. We definitely appreciate that. There's hard costs to everything in this world, and then
Yeah,
the people who show up and give their time and outreach. It's I like to be able to compensate people when I can when they're doing big work for the Baba spiritual mission, because I think that's really important. You
v-
know, people that
amazing.
volunteer. We have a core group of people that volunteers a lot of their time right now, and I am so grateful to our board and our leadership team, who are just they're just like, yep, I'll teach the class. Yep, that. We're just it's such an easy family.
Yeah,
It's just really easy.
yeah.
And it feels like we are just on the cusp of sort of a new expansion. We just had a new website done. One of our ministers this is something really cool. So she went through our program and got her ordination. And
Okay,
throughout the whole program, she's very, very gifted. Her intuitive skills are like second to none. She just whoom, gotcha. And so she's done marketing, right,
okay.
for 20 years. And she came in and she redid the Baba website, which was really cool. She did an amazing job. So she channeled the Baba energy and just brought it through and put it out into the world. And we were like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Mm,
And we have it in a cool like tech and membership stuff. But then, so she went like, oh, that's really cool. And up until this time, she didn't really know what she was going to do with her spiritual gifts. She
mm,
just went, well, it's helping my family, and like, it's fine. But I guess I'll just kind of do the work I've been doing. But then I got the hit. I was like, hey, let me hire you to do some work for me,
mhm.
to do a new website. And she did the same thing. Her experience was, because she had this training with channeling, she was able to lock in with my energy and channel my higher self and create a new website for me. And it was
Wow.
crazy because we had talked. It's like my experience with her was, we talked about the website and like that I wanted to do a website, and the next thing I knew, she was sending me a link to my website, and I was like, she didn't really ask my opinion or like what I wanted or anything. And I clicked open that website, and Mario,
Mm,
I felt naked. I
wow.
felt like I'd never been so exposed in my life, because she nailed it. Like, she channeled my energy, and boom, there it was. And those two experiences have led her to reach out and start to build a business, part of her business, around helping spiritual entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
because she channels their energy and then she creates it for them. She does the design. She puts everything together for them. And as she's worked with one, two, three other people besides me that I know of, and I have heard every single one of them go, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
she brings it through. So you don't necessarily. It can take some time when you're in the Baba mission to know what you're going to do with your gifts, and we bolster our faith and allow it to unfold. And you can see people are just doing all kinds of different things and unexpected things, and
That's
it's just
true.
really
That's
fun
true.
to witness.
Wow, but that's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing, amazing. Thank you for sharing this testimony. I mean, um, always think of the X-Men as like maybe like a metaphor of all of us.
Yeah.
Having special gifts, special
Yes.
abilities that
Yeah.
we do not often use because of how maybe it's perceived or
Yeah.
how we will be judged.
Yeah.
So for people such as you and the lady you mentioned
Mhm.
earlier, to be as brave and to just wear that on your sleeve is just amazing, inspiring, and empowering. You know,
Well,
s-
thank you. I hope it is
yeah,
inspiring, because it's not easy to bust through one's ego identity, and your ego identity is the way that you're protecting
yeah,
yourself and
yeah,
your authenticity from the world. Your ego identity might be your job, it might be your role as a parent, or it might be whatever it is. Like, we all do it
Yeah.
There's a requirement. We have to crack that open and pull that apart and let ourselves be naked to the world. And the initial process is not always easy, and it's helpful to have a guide through that, to kind of help you navigate through that. But boy, I tell you, the rewards of dismantling that ego identity and showing up naked in front of the world, no matter what arrows they might throw at you, and then realizing that those arrows don't kill you. It's all right,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
true.
people you attracted to your life, the synchronicities, the experiences, the abundance, the bounty of this
Yeah.
universe,
Yeah.
everything good. You become a magnet for everything wonderful and everything good in the world when you just let yourself be free and authentic and love yourself. It's an
Amazing.
amazing time to be alive because
Yeah.
there's never been a better time, a more ripe time for humanity to step into this kind of experience, this kind of lived experience. And yes, it's insane right now. And yes,
Yeah.
division is par none. And yes, people are in a lot of fear.
Yeah.
But I really believe that it is the individual, you and I, doing our work, moving ourselves into love, breaking free of our ego identity, and committing to raging authenticity. That is what is going to bring us into the new earth, into the new paradigm.
Wow, amazing,
And like
amazing.
you said, the more we do that, we inspire others to do that. It's not
Ex-
about telling you what to do. It's about living it
e-
and being it.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
about inspiring and letting the rest be done by itself.
Yes.
No. So that's amazing, Ingrid. Thank you very much. Um,
You.
for example, if we for those who want to follow you, like the platforms,
Yeah. Well,
exactly.
I'm everywhere.
Perfect.
I would encourage people to go to my personal website
Yep.
first, which is ingridhturner.com. And you don't want to forget the H in the middle. It's for my middle name, Heidi.
Oh,
ingridhturner.com. I
perfect.
am competing with a senator from Maryland, so for real
Wow.
estate. So the H is really important. So go to ingridhturner.com and you can join my free spiritual community. It's called Immersion. It's right there on my website. It's super easy. Just create a login, and then you'll get plugged into. It's like a community. It's a social community, kind of like a Facebook page,
Okay.
right? So we have our own community, and if you want to follow me out on, well, that's where I do my deeper teachings. That's where I try and go deep with those people because I know that they are resonating deeply. They've probably followed me around for a while, and they're resonating with spirit as it comes through me. And then, of course, I'm also on Facebook, Ingrid H. Turner. I'm on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I have a TikTok account. I have,
Wow.
where I'm not is Pinterest.
Wow.
Anywhere else you can probably find me. I'm on YouTube. I'm on all the different places. But
Okay. Wow. You're also on YouTube.
yes, yeah, it's a baby channel, but I'm there. I'm there.
Okay. Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I think you are the definition of the overachiever that we were saying in the beginning.
Oh, I don't know. Thank you. I hope not. Oh my lord. But anyway, more poetry. That's what we need.
More poetry.
More poetry.
I'm actually waiting for my words love book.
Oh, you haven't got it yet?
No, it's still coming. I'm you
Oh,
know I'm still waiting for it.
did you get it from Amazon?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
cool.
Exactly.
Words dot love. Yeah, that's my poetry book. And I've actually got a new. I'm starting to think about a new poetry book too because I've written a lot of poems since that was published.
But please share it with us. I mean,
I
uh,
will.
I
Yeah.
I will be the first one to promote it,
Oh,
and
awesome. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
acquire it. Yes, 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 yes.
Well, and all of that'll be on Amazon because what's not?
Exactly, exactly. Well, I got the first one on Amazon, Locked in Love, and
Lost in love. Yeah.
and Words Love, also on Amazon. So I think the easiest way is to
Yeah.
just go on Amazon.
It's the
Amazing
easiest way. Yeah.
poetry,
Thank
incredibly
you.
inspired. Um, God bless you, Ingrid.
Bless
For
you, Mario.
everything
Thank
you
you.
do, for everything you are, and for every growth that you have been a vessel to birth, and God bless you again. Thank you for this
Thank you,
time.
Mario.
Thank
Thank
you
you
very
so much.
much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope there will be a renewal soon. Keep me posted about your availability if you actually enjoyed it and there is something that you have to share. As I told you, it's also a baby channel. It's
Yeah.
starting, but it's to honor the great ones that we know. You know,
Great. Well, let me know when you're live. I will, of course, share it out on my stuff as well. I
perfect,
will. That's
perfect,
great.
perfect, perfect, perfect. I'll send you also the audio files also of that what we
Okay.
just did soon enough, and
Perfect.
yes, the time that I'll try to. I'm still discovering myself,
Yeah.
so I'm in a very uncomfortable position of like editing and discovering
Yeah.
new things actually because I haven't done it in a very long while, almost
Mhm.
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so like I'm learning a lot of new things,
Yeah.
but
And technology changes a lot in 10 years.
it changed a lot.
Are you trying to do a podcast or a YouTube channel, like or a broadcast? What are you putting together?
Well, it's actually kind of both, I
Oh,
guess. Yeah.
yeah.
More like a podcast, but not in the traditional sense.
Uh
Something that
huh.
is very unique, and every time it's something different.
Yeah.
It's never at the same time. It's honoring artists,
Mhm.
seers.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. Just really amazing unknowns, right? Kind of
Exactly,
like yeah. So
exactly. That's
cool.
the concept. Wow, you phrased it so well. Amazing unknowns, exactly, or not yet known enough.
Yeah.
Um, but who are doing amazing things, and they do deserve, all our support, in any way, form, or shape. They deserve our support because they're really contributing enough to the human community and human
Yeah.
village. So, why not just show them our appreciation?
Yeah. Oh, that's great. We'll keep you posted on that getting built and the nuts and bolts of all that. And I'm happy to support that in any way I can. That's
Perf-
really cool.
perfect, 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 perfect,
I
perfect.
will. This is still recording. I don't know if you mean for it to be recording.
Yeah, I'll actually stop the recording.
Recording stopped. There we go.
Yeah,
Let this one.
perfect.
Where are you from, Mario? I just want to learn a little bit about you.
Well, I'm from a bit of everywhere actually, but fundamentally, I'm from West Africa. My ancestry goes back to Nigeria, like
Yeah.
the Yoruba people,
Yeah.
exactly. But my some of my ancestors moved to Benin, who is really close by. It's like it's a close by country. So that's where the story restarted. Let's say.
Yeah.
And I was born in Germany.
Oh, you were okay.
Exactly because my parents are diplomats. Were
Oh,
diplomats.
there. No, really. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So that explains that. So I moved a lot around. I
Yeah.
moved a lot around, and now basically, as I show, I'm a poet. I'm a
Yeah.
digital marketer, an interpreter, like a translator.
Oh.
Yeah, in my own time, I have a little small company of translation and communication, basically.
Mhm.
And I have some books published, some one a science fiction novel who is more
Really?
Afrofuturistic. Yeah, kind of.
Wow. Cool. What's it called?
It's called Database.
At Face.
Exactly.
Is that on Amazon?
It's on Amazon, but it's in French. It's not yet.
How many languages do you speak?
4, 5.
What? That's so cool. Where
Yeah,
are you
yeah.
living now? Where are you now?
I'm in Canada, actually, close to Ottawa. I'm actually in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
How long have you been there?
2 years and more, actually. two
Yeah.
years and more, exactly, exactly.
Whoa. Where do
Ye-
you normally do? in your life? You've moved around a lot in your whole
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I moved around a lot in my life, but before these 2 years before I moved here in Canada, I was in Benin actually for almost a
Okay.
decade. You know,
That's home, right?
exactly, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Because my father had to. My father, he after finishing his whole career, he was the only how to say um boy, the only male child. So in African tradition, that's very still very important, so like the man has to be kind of prepared by his father or his elder for life, how can I say, life's hurdles or life responsibilities. So
Yeah.
that's basically. I was coming back home to visit my father for vacation, and I was just I had to come back, for my studies, like in sociology in Montreal, in Montreal, and after that, actually, my father started really begging me literally to kind of stay with him, because of course also we've lost my mother, may she rest in peace, in the process. So as a child, I was very conflicted. I had my own goals, projects, and actually it
Yeah.
was really kind of turning out well for me. But so I decided to kind of do the thing that was less pleasant, but I think more morally rewarding, which was to actually kind of give back at least my time,
Yeah.
and that's the journey lasted almost 10 years,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, before
Wow.
coming back again. So that's basically like the last 10 years. And before that, I was yeah, I moved a lot around Geneva, France,
Wow.
Lyon. Yeah.
Do you
Uh,
enjoy that? You enjoy that lifestyle, just moving around a lot?
oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is that you have to make friends all the time. Like you have to
Right.
renew your friendships. It was
Yeah.
very, very challenging at first, but then again, when you understand it's like life accelerated, you don't
Yeah.
take that too much personally. Like real friends, you stay in contact, in touch forever, and
Yes.
seasonal friends, they come and go, and you
And
enjoy
then,
their.
well, life has a lot of those. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. But me, I'm more into the very long term, kind of relationship, in everything, whether it's friends,
Yeah.
colleagues, business, romantic or whatever. It's this,
Yeah.
very long term, because
Yeah.
I believe in the continuance of life beyond this whole scene that, yeah, we are in right now. So
Yeah. Yeah.
exactly,
Well, can you
exactly.
feel it when you meet people? And like, do you believe in the concept of soul tribe members?
Yeah.
People who, yeah, yeah. Can you feel it when you meet people and they're one of yours? Even if it's
um
not forever, can you feel it? Because
Maybe.
sometimes our soul people aren't there forever. Sometimes they come in to like wreak some havoc.
Yeah, of
Help
course, that's true.
people up and then they're out.
That's true. But maybe
Yeah.
not immediately, not like
Yeah.
immediately, but
Yeah.
they're kind of like, I could say, like green flags,
Yeah.
um, that show that, oh wow, I mean, this energy is really rare, or this is very close to home, so that I
Right.
can feel very, very easily, very
Yeah.
rapidly. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I tend to really wait, because
Oh, sure.
yeah, I don't like these, like energetic surprises, when you think that you're like a match energetically, and then it's just like
Yeah. Yeah.
Hiroshima or something. So
Yeah. A
yeah.
lot of times both things are true with that. Like there is an energetic match, but then there's also the not match, and we get. I know I'm one who can be very optimistic
Oh
about
yeah.
everything in general. So
Yeah.
when I feel that, like, ooh, ooh, this feels really good, I've had to learn to wait for things to be revealed, wait for people to reveal themselves, or energies to reveal themselves, or what have you. But do you have a family?
Oh,
Kid,
yeah, I have.
wife?
No, 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 no. I was married, yeah, but no, right now, no. No children neither. I'm
Oh,
actually in I'm how could I say I'm in co-location with my sisters who are actually also, like they travel a lot. So
yeah,
actually, sometimes I'm kind of almost alone.
yeah,
Sometimes there is one around, and it's kind of, you know, instead of having multiple apartments,
you
um,
all live together.
yeah, exactly. For
Yeah,
now, for now, for
yeah,
now, we've
yeah,
been through. Everyone has. We've been through a lot, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of we didn't even plan for it. It just happened, you know.
Well,
It,
that's not, well, that's nice though that you guys have had each other through
exactly.
this last year and a half, because I imagine that if you're in a place where it's not home and you're not familiar, and like you said, you have to make new friends.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been able to make friends, except on the internet this last year and a half, especially where you are, because I think isn't it true that the restrictions, the lockdowns have been quite severe where you are, right?
Well, they're not too severe, but
Is that so? Maybe I'm thinking of a different place
well,
somewhere.
it depends because no, you might be right because there are some provinces
Yeah,
where it's the lockdown measures are very strict, and there are
yeah,
others
but
where
not so
it's
much for you.
exactly they're
Oh,
more
that's good.
relaxed, like in Quebec.
Yeah,
Like it's more relaxed, it's less stressful. But there's some places in Ontario or I don't know, maybe in British Columbia where it's really
yeah,
yeah, it's very strict. But
yeah,
let's say it was okay. There were tough days, but
yeah,
most of times it was okay. Like
yeah,
if you're really organized and you know exactly what to do in your day, you have like 15 hours to do everything you had to do outside and just
yeah,
come home at the right time. So um, why argue against the law if it's in your best interest yourself? You know.
yeah.
So yeah, and I don't know where are you actually? You're in LA.
No, I'm in Northern California,
Okay,
so closer
perfect.
to Sacramento, but
Okay,
further north,
okay,
almost to Nevada.
okay, perfect. Because when you said like 3 hours, I was like, okay, it's the West Coast.
West Coast, yeah, 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 yeah.
Exactly. So, and you also mentioned a lot of Los Angeles. So,
I lived in Los Angeles for a little while,
okay,
and that where I had a lot of good experiences there. And then now I live in Northern California.
perfect. And which one do you prefer, actually?
Well, I really loved living in Southern California, and I didn't want to. I grew up in Northern California, and I didn't want to come back. But that was when my life fell apart,
Okay.
so I had to rebuild, and so I came
Yeah.
back, and I've been rebuilding. Um, and but last time I went down to Southern California, it was very, very intense energy for me because I'm more sensitive than I used to be.
Yeah.
So I love the city. I still love to go back and visit, but I can only take so much before I have to leave.
Yeah, I
And I
understand.
live in a where I live now is a quiet area. It's a small town, small city. Um, Not a super small town. It's like a big town, small city, kind of, in that in between place. And I think it's been really good for me to. I feel like spirit has been, because I'm a wanderer. I want to get out and move around the world. That's just what I want to do. But I've had my
Like,
child to raise, who I've been raising by myself, and
yeah.
he didn't want to go anywhere.
Okay.
I'm going to go down to Mexico, go down South America, just kind of keep going until I found my
Wow.
spot, found my place. That's my idea. Yeah.
Wow, that's
That's my plan.
amazing.
Very excited about it.
That's amazing. Like, so it would be in the beginning of next year.
Yeah, that's my plan. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I
Yeah.
feel that there are a lot of how could I say highly spiritual um, people who are being called to I don't know if how could call it like a pilgrimage lately.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I've been seeing that too. I'm seeing a lot of people going, "Ooh, it's time to go." A lot of people, even in my area, just have spread out and gone out into the world, and I've been really feeling that as well. But I had some things to tie up. You know, my son, he grew up with me, and I was a solo parent, so it was just me and him because his dad was off, kind of like doing his thing, and then his dad really like pulled it together at this beautiful time when my son really needed him when he came to his teenage years.
yeah,
And so now my son's living with his dad, and he's been there comfortably for a year. And I'm like, okay, I think I can go. I think I can live my life now.
yeah,
Um, so, and he's going to be 16 at the end of October, and he's like a grown up, you know, because his dad isn't like a parent, you know.
yeah, yeah,
But it's feeding this, like it's healing him so deeply because his dad is completely absent in his childhood, and so he's like really reconnecting. He's building this bond. He's working. He's making more money than I am, you know. And so
wow,
he's super responsible. He pays rent, cleans the house, and it's just like, dang, like it's kind
wow.
of done. Yeah, it's amazing. So
At
I'm
his
getting ready to.
age,
Yep. Yeah, he's doing good.
wow, he's amazing. I mean, he's
He's
set for
amazing.
life.
He
You know?
is. Yeah, he's good. He's got a really strong work ethic. He's has
That's
no BS. Funny as hell, and like definitely a dude. I mean, it's like irreverent, rah rah rah. But you know, that's all right. So he is who he is. But I'm really proud of him because he really struggled for a while there. He had a
yeah,
hard
I can
time.
imagine
He
without that,
just
you know,
oof, came
pillar
into
in
his
your
own,
life.
and
Whether
his
it's the
dad came
mother or
in
the father,
right at
huh?
the right time.
Yeah,
So important for a child to have both, and I did
both.
not know how important it was until my son started to have so many problems because he didn't have his dad. And as soon as his dad came back into the picture, his dad didn't have to do a damn thing. All he had to do was show up, and my son started to blossom. And I was like,
Wow.
well, there we go.
Amazing, amazing. These are beautiful stories. You know, amidst a world where there is always, you know, like the gloom and doom news, it's good, it's
Yeah.
refreshing to hear those things because
Yeah, yeah,
it gives you
yeah.
faith, you know, it gives you
It
faith
is about
in the
that.
best in us,
It
in the best in
really is.
us.
The news is just, you know, what sells is destruction. What
Exactly.
sells is chaos. What sells is negativity. We have to disconnect from that and remember that is such a small portion of what the world is. It's so small. And if we stick with the news, we think it's the whole damn world.
Yeah.
And it's just not. It's not even, it's just a sliver of the world. The rest of it is amazing.
Is amazing, amazing,
Yeah.
and we tend to forget that. And but I wondered, Ingrid, like, who do you read? Who do you? I mean, what are your personal references? Be- Um, like, yeah, like, what are your passions? Your hobbies?
Well, my my passion is my life. Like
Yeah,
I live my passions. I just turned my passions into my work. Everything had to come together. I couldn't keep them separate. In terms of what I read, when it comes to spiritual teachers and spiritual work, I actually don't read a whole lot because I'm a channel and I need to keep talking heads out of my head
yeah,
so that I can try and be as pure and clean as possible. That being said, if I get the hit 3 times to go read this,
yeah,
then I'll do that. Then I'll go check it out. So I listen to like Abraham Hicks, which is a really good antidote for the news.
yeah,
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 that's really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
I've known about Wayne Dyer for quite a long time, and then Spirit sent
Amazing.
me in his direction. So I've been doing some listening to some audio, and I listen to a lot of audio. I'm really excited about Richard Rudd and the Gene Keys is really really cool.
Don't
Um,
know him.
what else have I been? Um, Baba Ram Dass. I
Yeah,
love
Ter-
Amici.
Terrence McKenna.
I just have, I love it all, but I sort of am surface about it because my teaching, it comes direct from spirit.
Yeah,
But if I get the nudge, then I'll go devour something, and it'll basically be
Of course.
So sometimes I get that directly from spirit, and sometimes spirit pulls me over in this direction, and I go, I'll just devour. So I'll just like devour a book or like a YouTube series or something like that. And
Yeah.
like, okay, there it is, got it, yes. And it'll be full of these signs and like for example, Wayne Dyer, this random YouTube video came on that was a talk that he gave, and I'm listening to it and I'm realizing that it was he was giving this talk in my county
Okay.
before he died, and I live in like a rural, out in the middle of nowhere county. He was actually in my county, and then he brought up a couple of other things. Oh, he brought up William Blake, who's like my absolute favorite poet of all time.
Wow. I V
And
two
so
William
there
Blake
are these
is.
little bits of
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Easter
yeah.
eggs
I
that I discovered.
winks.
How spirit, yeah, I love that eye wink. That spirit does that, and I was like, oh, I'm listening. Oh, I'm listening.
Yeah.
And what he brought through, I could feel the divine transmitting through his voice long after his death, and I felt it in my heart. And I just had this experience of this expansion.
Mm.
And to that date, people said, "Oh, you should read Wayne Dyer," and I'm like, "Not yet, not yet, not yet," because Spirit didn't tell me to. And then Spirit said, "Boom!" And as soon as it did, it was an activating process. So that's how
Wow.
I handle spiritual teachers, and,
Wow,
and
that's
other
amazing.
writings. It's when Spirit needs to, we're using this channel to get to you, and I'm like, okay.
Wow. Okay, but for example, like, do you know, for example, Florence Scovel Chin,
I'm not
um,
familiar.
the game of life, and how to play it. If you haven't read it, I really
Would you be
ex-
willing to send me the name of the author or a link, and I'll go get it?
I'll do that just after.
Yeah.
It's a magnificent book. It's a gem. It's a gem. Like the game of life and how to play it. Basically, it's the idea that instead of seeing life as as a battle, a war, a struggle, uh,
Yeah.
it's more healthy to approach it as a game
Yeah.
where if you know the laws, you will often be smiling because
Yeah.
you're winning and you actually consciously know that you're working with, I don't know, like eternal laws that always they don't see personality or person, or they just see if you're applying them correctly or not. So and yeah, and it's the whole me. I'm very passionate about that. Like
Yeah.
self-help, but of
Yes.
the early 20th century, the new school. Uh, yeah, with like the whole Ralph Waldo Emerson movement and
Yeah.
transcendentalism,
Yeah.
and then it changed somehow. Like in spirituality, it became something else. And these are some of the how could I say the giants that came, like Florence
Yeah.
Scovel Shane, Wallace D. Waddles, also who is like these. I mean, I don't know why they're not more famous. Like,
Well, you seem to have a gift for ferreting out what is not obvious, like things and people that are not obvious. Why don't you? Can you send me a list of your favorite, of like your top 5 authors and teachers, and I will definitely check them out. I have to jump off because I'm actually gonna go pick up my kid.
no problem, no problem. Thank you. And you done more than much than enough. So may
Oh,
God
thank you.
bless you
This is really fun.
abundantly.
I'm really happy to be able to connect with you
Thank you
properly
very,
and
me too, very
create
much.
a friendship here.
Thank you, thank you for the privilege. Thank you for the blessings, and continue wowing us at large because
Well, my job is unglamorous. It's to get out of the way. So
well.
let it shine.
I'm a
Thank you very much.
I'm definitely an admirer and a fan. So, keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
Blessings,
Okay.
blessings.
Have
Take
a
good
great
care.
rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.